Greetings, Diesel Funketeers. I'm back again. Tim Fielder here with the Diesel Funk Dispatch. August 25th episode. I'm sure the audio, like before, is probably screwed up. But don't worry, stick with me. I promise to be as entertaining as possible. Let me turn this down a little bit, see if I can adjust a few things. And we should be able to rock and roll. Okay. So I'm a visual Afrofuturist, graphic novelist. I intend to showcase a little bit today of how I'm working with VizCom. We started on the image just on Friday for Jason Reeves of 133 Art. He has a Kickstarter going on. It's pretty cool. And if I can get through that relatively quickly as I'm working through my process, I will also showcase how I utilize the comic, working on my adaptation of W.E.B. Du Bois' The Comet. We're about, I guess, 40 or so pages into the breakdowns. We need to make at least triple that to get to where I need to go. But we're making progress. But let's see how we're going to rock today. How are you guys doing? Let's see here and check to see if all of the streaming channels are working correctly. Raining Echo, hello, said, I want to say Wilmel 811 ITAX. 11 ITAX? I don't know what that is, but hi, how you doing? Let's see, what else we got here? Okay, we're good. I think all of the streams are going well. Only thing I need do is to make sure this is moved to, I want to make sure this is shared to another page. So we're going to hang on 1 second here. Uh, when you're broadcasting like this, there's quite a bit of other stuff going on that you have to manage. That it just seems to be part of the deal here. You know, I mean, what you really want is something where you just hit a button, everything happens automatically. But it does not work that way. It's mostly that way, but it really does not work that way. And you know, but of course, I could fully concede this could just be an issue of me not knowing what the hell I'm doing. So I don't know. So I like to cross post it to Facebook on my private page, which is I'm always grateful to be able to do that. So we will make that happen. That is posting now. That is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Okay, good. So we are live there. I'm also waiting for any folks want to ask questions or whatever. You know, I'm always talking. So it's always a good day when these things rock. So I'm going to go here and just turn this off here. This one here, let's see. Last thing, and then we'll get started in about 1 moment. Let me just make sure my setup. I have the busiest desktop in the universe, but it's all good. We're going to open up our comic breakdowns there. And then we're also going to open up. We're going to open up. We will go actually to Clip Studio Paint for that. All right, we can close these guys up, I think. Yep. Don't need those open anymore. Okay, go here, recent. Dag nabbity, dag nabbity. All right, let's go here. Let's go to where I was last week. As I get older, I'm finding that I am slipping in terms of things that I need to remember, and that is because I think I'm just getting older, and I miss details, but that's okay. We all good. We all good. Okay. All right. So for right now, go here. Hang on 1 second. 1 second. We'll open something here. Go to. Okay. 1 second. Sorry about this, guys. Just the type of things when you're managing multiple files. Let's go here to. Nope. And if I can't get to that, I'll get to it on another day. Whoops. All right. So feeling good about what I've been doing lately, about pulling things together. Feeling like that there's quite a bit of uh, momentum going with my projects, but what's starting to happen is there's a point where you're working on your work, you're working on your projects, and you begin to feel not inertia, but you begin to feel the momentum is just. I'm starting to get out into the water a little bit, I should say, on my projects. Let's see here. Looking here, and as a matter of fact, let's go to the desktop so you guys can see what I'm doing there. This is the tedious part of file management that you have to contend with. That can be a bit of a drag, but we will pull these things together. Okay, what is it? Oh no, we don't want that. Let's see. Okay, we got that open. We got that open. And all right, what the heck? We'll go with the Mega Average project. All right. So, Jackson Comics is a comic operation out of Jackson, Mississippi. They do great work. Blake Barnes does his thing. And one of the things I'm doing is I'm doing a story based on my father's experience with MondayBaby. Right? So the different ways that I can operate in terms of producing content for how this works. So I'm going to open this one up here, and this will be good. So that should be opening now. Should have a file opening. Just a moment. We'll go right here, quad. Okay. All right, so we have multiple files opening. Okay, so here's the MondayBaby's breakdowns. Here's the actual pages, and I think I'd shown you guys how I'd taken these off of these images here, kind of moved them over. Now, one of the things I'm going to be doing with this image here is I intend to start to detail out, look, I fully concede that the way I work is not necessarily, generally people show finished stuff. And I show finished stuff too, but in this particular instance, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing a bit of how I do my work from the base on. I think it's important that people see that. Okay, so we got a stylus pen here. Just a quick review of this. I'll go to the breakdowns for that. So again, as I had done this several weeks ago, and I'm sorry again, Blake, for being a little late on this, but I got a lot of stuff for it. I have to say this is one of the busiest points of my career. It's called The Offer. That's the working title I have going right now. And this is my father, who is now 91. So I'm actually going to do something that is very helpful for those folks who are doing adaptations of folk stories. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, so I can go here. Let's see. Let's do a quick search, but we're going to go in the Finder here. I'll show you what I mean. Type in Dad. All right. So here we go. And what we're trying to do here, I'm scrolling through that. Yeah, that's not going to work. Let's go. All right, so I might be able to find that here. If not, I'm not going to worry about it for right now. But one of the things I want to do is I want to try to, so it looks like my cat is coming here. It's the strangest thing with cats. They don't care about, hold on, let me check something right quick. Also, I think my audio is good. I believe my audio is good, but let me know if it's not. At least to the point where you guys should be able to hear me. Right now, I know comments coming through right now, which is fine, which is dope, dopey dope, and that's good. All right, now, here we go. I'm just going to create one image here. That one image should be able to give me something to work with. Let's go to documents here. It's a lot of stuff, I know. All right, and I'll come back to that. Let's do this one thing here. Now, I've done my reference from before, but I think I need to go into photos here. Yep, there we go. And as you can see, I take a lot of videos because I'm doing a weekly blog. So I interviewed my father earlier this year. So what we're going to do here is scroll up to where I interviewed him. So let me just see if I can get here. This is when I was in the hospital in April, so we know we are going there, getting there fairly consistently. This was January, I think, when I interviewed that. Let's see here. Okay, yep, that was February when I was freezing my butt off in Minnesota with brother Walter Grayson, my friend and colleague. We produced the graphic history hip hop for the Graphic History Company, which is very cool. Let's see here. Yep, this is, I think, where we're getting close to it. If I can't find it, I'll have to search for it on another day. But yeah, that was an interesting experience working that way. Okay, So I don't think I have it here right now, but that's all right. That's okay. That's all right. That's okay. Get back to it later. All right, no sweats. All right, so let's go here. All right, so we know we have these things here. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a picture of my dad, how I want him presented in this shot here, so we can see how that looks. And of course, I've transferred each of these breakdowns to what I call a quad layout. That quad layout is here. I'll move this over here. And the way I want to draw this is not necessarily super realistic, but realistic enough. Here, okay, there we go. We've got our panels there, so that's good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. Let me make this a little bit lighter. Because right now I'm just working with page 1. And page 1 is right here. Alright? Alright, great. Let me minimize this 1 second here. Okay, now let's zoom in. Alright. I'll take a brush here. This time I think the brush that I've been using is dense watercolor. Whoops. Make sure I select it. I don't want a white, I want a black. Okay, there we go. That's good. Make that point there a little bit bigger. There we go. That's pretty good. I didn't want it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start, but I'm going to try to do this a little bit differently. There we go. All right. Line 1. Right. Just a little bit here. You know, I've been thinking a little bit about how folks operate in the art space. There's been a lot of movement going on as the film industry goes through its um, change. Some people would call it a collapse. I wouldn't call it a collapse. I would call it a change, moving away from a center theatrical base to now moving towards. Some people would call it streaming. I would call it more of a hybrid streaming YouTubeification. So you're going to start seeing a lot more film stuff on those type of venues. And for me, you know, I look forward to it. You know, someone such as myself, you know, who has pretty big talent, but a little bit of mental issues, you know, uh, was not a person who could necessarily prosper in the previous industry. It was set up. It was very much you had basically 5 to 10 people who made a decision on who was allowed entry, and then there was a number of people who would even go from that point to block you further. Now, you know, this is not to say that that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you always have a system of gatekeepers and so much, so on and so forth. But you know, Denzel Washington made a statement the other day, and I love Denzel Washington. I think he's one of the greatest actors that's ever lived. He's really amazing. But he made a statement the other day where he was talking about how people could, you don't have to be good at what you do now to operate in today's world. And I thought to myself, okay, I understand his point, but I also understand that who determines what's good? That's the world that I'm fascinated with. Who determines what's good? Who determines what's bad? Further, beyond just who determines what's good and who determines what's bad, who determines who can be allowed to showcase that they are good or bad? That's the interesting question to me, you know, because, you know, Denzel Washington, who's this, you know, brilliant actor, has been a working actor for what, 50 years, you know, at the height I'm not saying that the guy hasn't struggled. Everybody struggled. I'm just saying that how many people who were as good, if not better, than Denzel Washington, who actually made it, who actually were able to get into the system. They didn't have any serious drug problems. They were just regular folks, but they just didn't make it into the system. They were not allowed into the system. And I think it's important to keep in mind that people are people, but that systems change, and when those changes come, sometimes they're not that kind to old systems. And I believe we're now approaching and entering into an old system where, you know, what is good, what is bad, who is allowed in, these things are changing. And I think they're changing rapidly. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see where things go. All right, now I'm obviously drawing an image of my dad who, when he's over at my brother's house, is generally what he does, sitting down watching TV. But I guess when you're 91, you can do that. That's the kind of weird Croc shoes that he's addicted to. It's weird. Anyway, there we go. Might change them up a little bit. Nah, they're Crocs. They are Crocs. There we go. The socks on because his feet get cold. There we go. All right. Now we're going to do the other side here. All right. There we go. Boom. And we will keep going in. What I'm going to do is lay out my line work. It's just going to give you guys the process that I will use. Like some stories, obviously I would utilize just direct. Hello, Jay Manchester. Thank you for stopping by for a second, man. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Okay, I'm waiting for one or two people to come in and make their. These are my friends who will come in and make their crazy commentary about my tech situation. They don't offer any help; they're just critical. Looking at you, Mark. Anyway, but okay, we got that going. This is great. Thank you. Okay, looks like uh, the Twitch is going well. Everything seems to be going well. In the coming weeks, again, I keep promising I'm going to do it. I intend to work out this situation with TikTok. Figure out what in the world is going on. What in the world? Is going on? All right, there we go. Okay. Here. All right. Now, I think his hands are a little bit too small. Sort of too small. Let's see what happens. If I go here, select here in this section. Okay. And T. Make those hands there a little bit bigger. Whoops. A little bit bigger. There we go. Yep. Yeah, I like that. That's much better. Not looking for perfection, which is looking for the gesture. He is an older man. Of he was an athlete, but he's a little bit older now, so he's not as mobile. Still, you can't pull game on him. He's a little bit older now, but it's cognitively he's pretty much there. And see here, wrinkles here. All I'm going for here is a sort of just a slight indication of what's happening. I'm not really trying to do this as ultra realistic. There'll be some parts that will be, more rendered, but so we're going here. Okay, good. Now, so we got that gesture down here. He wears a baseball cap very often. Now the last time I checked, he's wearing my hat. Actually, I was in for San Diego Comic Con. I took my hat down there. And next thing you know, this guy's wearing my hat. So, I gotta tell 91-year-old, yo, man, give me my hat back. It's grateful I even have a hat for him to steal. And my dad is like George Lucas in the sense that these guys still have all the hair, which is insane because, how is it that a person can be, I've been bald since my early 40s is when things went awry, but yeah, no, this guy's 91, still has a full head of hair. It's crazy. All right. Thick beard. There we go. Yes. All right, I like that. Ooh, pop under there, underneath that eye. Yes. There we go. A little thinner these days. Right. I interviewed him back in February. There you go. Fantastic. All right, good. That's baseball cap. Like that. Has a little while. All right, good. I like that. Now let's move this up here a little bit. One of my friends sent me a ad for a new book, Rhythm Master by Kerry James Marshall. I used to interact with a bit many, many years ago. And I thought it was interesting because I remember him approaching me about Rhythm Master. He's always, I guess, had a fascination with comics. But it's interesting to see it's the same pages I saw so very many years ago. What's so weird is that I actually have the photocopies he gave me from the years ago. So probably try to return them or something like that. I don't know. But that was many, many years ago. Okay, there we go. All right, now that is cool. That's what happens when you draw somebody enough times. All right, let's go here. Check here. Check the socials. It would seem to be going okay. All right, good. Yeah. All right. I think we're good here. Now I stream fairly late at night. I know that. I'll start up a stream at anywhere from 7:30 to 9 or so like that. That's just tends to be what I do. Um, I have a lot of work that I need to do. However, I do see the benefit in. Let me turn off this on the page here for a second. See, that's a clean drawing. I like that. That's nice. That's nice. Turn that back on there. Yeah. I tend to work in such a way where I'm. How would I say? I am. Uh, uh, I'm not necessarily concerned with how I'm doing the work. Uh, well, I'm not. I'm more concerned with the efficiency of how I'm doing the work than just getting the work done per se, because the work will hurt me if I don't do it right. That's just something that I cannot sit here and deny. So I've had to learn how to extend myself grace. It's helpful to do that. Okay, so we got that. Now we're gonna put this guy on a couch here. Chandler has a table here that he takes his drawing, his drink. He's addicted to drinking water. I don't know if that's an addiction, but that's one of the things he tends to do. Out of this huge cooler that's mostly filled with ice water. That's his thing. Top there. he'll nurse that thing all day. It's pretty crazy. Right. All right, there we go. Fantastic. Okay, this is a little table that they have on with the prerequisite napkins. There you go. I think I'm going to move this over here. By the way, I am not using a perspective grid or anything with this. I'm kind of doing it by eye, which might not necessarily be the best thing in the world, but there we go. Fantastic. Alrighty. Alright, so while I'm drawing here, I'll continue drawing, but I will state for the record, I am Tim Fielder. This is Diesel Funk Dispatch. I'm a graphic novelist, visual Afrofuturist, and I tend to focus my work on Afrofuturism, science fiction, fantasy. These are the things that I tend to do, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it, particularly in this day and age where it's so much easier than it used to be to produce the type of works than the previous kind of scenario, which was just dramatically more difficult to do. Now I can actually do, fleet of spaceships and it not kill me, from doing it because it's just easier to do. I have three books I'm mostly known for. One is Infinitum, an Afrofuturist tale, that guy right there, and Maddie's Rocket, this guy right here, and then this thing over here, which I think I'm probably gonna drop if I'm not careful. Right there, the graphic history of hip hop. Presently working on volume 2 of the graphic history of hip hop, volume 2 and 3 of Maddie's Rocket, and eventually one day I'll get to the sequel of Infinitum. That's a sequel. All right, so there we go. All right, so that's pretty good. Not perfect, but this is the beauty of when you're working in digital illustration that you can kind of change and alter things if you want. So I think that leg there's a little bit off. So I'll just hit Command T and shift right there. See? Boom, done. All right, now we're gonna draw the couch he's in. Couch. Let's say it's a little bit here. Whoops, wrong tool. There we go. Leather couch that my brother tends to do. Have he and his wife, my sister-in-law. They have a couch. That's pretty cool. Oh man, there we go. Yeah. So anyway, what I was saying about this whole thing is, we're moving into a period where old systems of what is appropriate and what is not appropriate, or what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. These things are changing, and I look forward to the change. Frankly, I look forward to it. I look forward to that. I don't have any. Um, I'm totally fine with the old paradigm kind of blowing up because it didn't work for many people. Again, I have to say, how many actors, male and female, who were just brilliant, but they just didn't make it through. How do you can dismiss that as a characteristic of the industry, but that's one of the things that tends to happen. Okay, make sure that bottom part there is good. And this is a big couch, but he always sits on the edge there. All right, I'm liking that a lot. That's good. All right, here again, doing this by eye, but I'm okay with that. Now I'll erase a few of these things a little bit off. All right. Sometimes when I'm drawing like this, I think I should take the time to do a monthly comic. Just a mini series. I don't know if anybody would be interested in me doing that. It's just some stuff I've always wanted to do. This character, High John Conqueror, which I had started on before. You know, someone may have seen me do it. You know, you might see a stray page online somewhere, but I've always felt like that would be pretty cool to do. Okay, so we'll take this here, and all right, liking that. Okay, now when old man sits down, he is generally sitting here, and the chair kind of curves like so. And this also might mean take this Command Shift, Command C, Command V, and get rid of that. Okay, yeah, so I got the chair on a separate layer here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this here. Hang on one second. Hang on one second now. I think we are good in the chats. Chat appears to be good. Again, thank you guys so much for being here tonight and putting up with me. I know I'm a little weird, but that's okay. All right, so I think we are good. Darius Crosby, thank you so much. One of the more supportive folks out there in the comic scene, the industry comic scene cannot survive without multiple Darius Crosbys. That's a fact. All right, so it comes down sort of like this. Now watch how I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this. I'm going to put that. He's generally right on the edge, right there. Right, and this part here comes down there. Right here. There we go. And then that little dividing line right there. See what's happening with this chair? So it's kind of flipping over and changing a bit there. Then we take this part down here. There we go. See? That goes out just a little bit. Now, I'm drawing this from memory, from having sat there with him a gazillion times. But there we go. Yeah. Like that. I actually won't have that swoop in there. See, I want it to be more rounded like that. There we go. All right. Good. Good. All right. I like that. Now, we're going to put the leg here because the leg couches, I'm going to make it, you know, with a little kind of a rise on it. There we go. And then we'll take, let me hold my breath here. Sometimes when I'm trying to draw a straight line, you know, I'm not trying to use a ruler line, which I could do, but sometimes I want that line to feel looser, so I'll hold my breath. And allow me to do a straight line because my body, the little micro vibrations that go on when you are doing your drawing is kind of eliminated. That's just something I do. You know, of course, it might also be one of the reasons why I tend to act like I have a lack of oxygen going on. All right. Also, want to issue a huge congrats to my twin brother Jim and my wife Melanie because they have both started their social media activities. Very, very proud of them. They have done it and frankly done a better job than I have. You know, they've certainly taken a more effective route. But I'm just, you know, just really, really proud of both of them for having taken that jump. Um, you know, very proud of this. So keep going, guys. Keep going. All right, there we go. That is looking pretty good. I like that. I like that quite a bit. All right, now watch this. There we go. See, now we can move the table back in place. All right. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. Watch this. So I need this table to appear on top of the artwork for it, but it needed to be done in such a way where the table is obviously composited over the image. So how do I do that? This is how I do it. I'm going to turn this off for a moment. I'm going to go back to my chair. I'm going to make sure this is closed here. Whoops, that's a thick line in there. Let's make sure that is closed. Okay, there we go. All right, and again, not looking for perfection with my stuff. There is a certain imperfection or inaccuracy that can be characteristic of cartooning. That is part of the flavor, right? It's not about all the time about technical accuracy. It's about emotional accuracy. And here, what I want is a dynamic overhead angle showing an image of this old man contemplating his life. That's the idea. And of course, let me not forget the bag of Hershey's Kisses. Hey man, he likes that chocolate. Can't get upset at him. At least he's old enough to sort of do what he wants. Whatever. All right. So we got that. That's okay. I think I can live with that. All right, good. Now, watch what I'm going to do here. Close that off. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to select here in the open area. Here in the open area. It's taking a little time to go there, and that's good. I'm going to click here as well. I'm going to hit Command Shift I. Right? Now, when I turn this on, you can see this is the layer that drawing is on. Right? Here is the drawing of the table. If I go and add a layer in between this, since I've inverted the selection, now I'll go to white and go right here. Hiya. Whoops. Is that right? Yes. Let's just go here instead and do a fill. See? So what happens? So now, what happens is that drawing now has that table has let me do this here so you can see it in the screen. That table has a selection around it. See that white? It's basically operating as a mask. And I tend to use that sometimes when I'm doing my drawings. So that's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. This is good. I won't put too much stuff in the background other than, should I put what do you guys think? Should I put a rug on there? There's a part of me that wants I can take a few liberties with this. But I think for right now, I think we'll stick with what it is now. Hang on 1 second here. Again, I think let's go here. Are we looking? We're looking. We are looking. Yeah. Right, streaming is going good. Okay. Liking it. Yes. This is good. All right. So again, let's see here. So we got that image right there. For there, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much maybe leave that where it is. The only way I won't. Let's deselect this now. I'm going to deselect that. And we're going to move into this here. There we go. Now here, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to make my lines much thinner. Watch this though. This is going to be a bit of a trick. I want a kind of a hardwood floor for these on. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to now take this and I'm going to do a really small square, like so. Right? Now I could just as easily do this online, but why bother? So I'm going to go here. I'm going to take a very thin line. There we go. Whoops. Probably should do that with a black line. What do you guys think? Make that pencil thin. Bam. Well, not too thin. There we go. Okay. I'm holding down shift. What shift is doing is allowing me to make a straight line. There we go. You know, I had done a drawing I had taken this words that Samuel R. Delaney had done years ago on Facebook. I thought the story was so fascinating. It was back when he lived in New York City, and it was called Push or something. Talking about how he collected books and things like that. And I started on this reminds me of that. I never got around to finishing it though. Life got in the way, and ended up actually trying to do Nova, but that unfortunately did not work out. But that's the way it goes. You know, always other stories to tell. All right, go here. All right, I'm liking this. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I am liking it. Boom. Do two more right there. And of course, I probably could have gone online and downloaded a texture like this, but why? Why bother when you can just do it like this? Okay, so here we go. We got to decide now. Do we make it like that? Watch this. All right, so we can take that all the way up there. All right. We're following the line. See, we're using the chair as a line. We can even do this if we want. See what's happening? So now what I'm doing is literally creating a floor texture that I probably can use as a sort of pattern, if you will, kind of a floor pattern. Yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Right there, there we go. Alrighty. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Here's where it's going to get interesting. Now, I could have saved that texture, but I don't feel like it because it's the only time I'm really going to show the floor thing. Alright, there we go. See? See what's happening now, baby? Yeah. And then we're going to do this because this last bottom panel here is the scene change. There we go. Alright, I like that. The only other thing I think I will do is to take this and stretch that guy out there a little bit. Yes. Take this back here. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. All right. Now let's take the bottom part. And the reason why I'm doing this is I want to stretch that. There we go. Let's say right here is good. Now I can take the bottom part here and shift that. It's going to be weird, but work with me. Perspective is not perfect on this. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be close enough. All right, let's rotate a little bit. There we go. I mean, it's horrible, but whatever. All right. So that's good. There. Okay, I like it. Now, I kind of like that too, but I think I'm going to erase here a little bit. Side. There we go. Now, you might say, hey, where's the AI coming in? Well, the way I utilize AI, still got to do your drawing. No escape from the drawing, people. What's the point of doing this stuff if you're just going to enter in a prompt and let the prompt do the drawing for you? It can help you do the drawing for sure. You know, I'm not an advocate of people killing themselves trying to get illustrations done, but you still got to have that first. This will be my image prompt. This will be my first image prompt. That's the point. That's why you're using it. Okay. So we got this here. There we go. Now I could have just done a selection around the line draw and done the same thing, but There's a part of me that's kind of enjoying erasing lines here, and that's fine. Okay, so there we go. Old dude sitting in the chair, kind of a hardwood floor. I just put a little bit of fog there. Erase there. Erasure. There we go. Oh, bam, bam, bam. Alrighty, I like it. I like it. That is pretty good there. Like it. See, do one thing here. We're going to take this pen here. Move that right there. Yep. Take that down just a little bit. Then we'll do the same thing here. I'll put one more here. Just for here. There we go. Alright. That looks pretty good. Alright. I don't think we need anything else here. Other than, I could show the giant 65-inch TV screen he looks at, but there you go. Hey man, don't get upset at me for talking about how much you watch TV. My dad was addicted to watching in the heat of the night TV show with Carol O'Connor and what's that brother's name? Harold Rollins. And it's like every week there was, "What's up, legend? Much love." Who is this? Somebody calling me a legend? Oh God, does that mean I'm old? Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hello, I am a Taylor. And Wave the Pencil 91. That is a dope name. Cleo Lake Creativity. Hello. J Manchester 0. Hello. How you guys doing? Pop it in. As if folks pop in, pop out. That's all good. I got 2 notifications here. We're gonna go back. Make sure we go back here. We don't want to lose our standing. All right, that is going. All right, now. Oops, let me turn that off there. Audio. Okay. Now, I could draw the. I could draw the. Uh, uh, I could draw the college here, Alcorn College. But what I want to do first, before I do that, is I want to just go. Let's go to the internet. The internet. I'm gonna go here to this is a guy Framer who has apparently devised a work process called cartoonhero.ai, and I'm interested in possibly enrolling in his course because it's just something about what he's doing. I think that would be very helpful as I get deeper into doing Maddie's Rocket. But there we go. Anyway, let's see here what we're gonna do. All right, we are looking for tab Alcorn College 1950s campus. And go to our image. It's amazing how it works, isn't it? Amazing how it works. So I think this is pretty cool. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that amazing how you can just grab reference? You used to have to go to the library for this type of stuff, man. Look at that. Incredible. Incredible. So to go here, I'm going to right click this. I'm going to save image as. We'll make sure that we go to Jackson Comics and we save that right there. So we need our reference, man. It's the Oakland Chapel. This is good. Look at that. Look at that reference there. That's amazing. Now, this is a chapel here. It's obviously probably see some kind of building that is not. I want to see what happens to the administration building. But this is good. I'll be able to have one of the icons there. Oakland chapter. Whoa. Hello. Okay. I think I don't know what happened there. Like the screen went black. 1 second. Alrighty. Alright, look at this right here. That's from Alcorn back in there. That's not the 1950s, but years and years ago. Alrighty. Alrighty. Alright, so I'm going to say 1950s campus administration building because they took over the administration building from the 1950s. What's that? No, it's San Jose State. Alcorn State, man. What are you doing? Here we go. That's interesting. What building is this? This is captures the historic president's home. What was then Alcorn A&M College. I'm liking that. We're going to go to Save Image As. We're going to call it Alcorn President's Home. There we go. Got that one. Oh, and I even like this outside part. That's pretty good. Well, I don't know if these fences were here, but we'll be all right without it. Let's see here. Now, my dad was involved in protests that occurred there during the 1950s. So what I want to do here, Alcorn College Chapel. Wow, that's a chapel. Let's see here. All right, so let's do this. Alcorn College campus photos. All right. And this might be something I might need to perhaps see if I can go on there. If they have, I'm sure they have a digital archives or something like that. Yes. I think we'll keep this for reference. Why will we keep this image for reference? Because it gives us kind of a time capsule of how people dressed back in the day. Save image as. We're going to say Alcorn students 01, just in case I have more. This is the type of stuff we have to do. We have to collect this stuff. Let's see here. Look at that. Alcorn State's notable alumni. Now, Alcorn, for a lot of folks don't know, a number of schools that were around back in the day, they were agricultural schools. Those agricultural schools were set up. As you can see, Alcorn Agriculture and Mechanical College. And so what these schools were was that, it's so interesting the way industries worked back then is people made their living in agriculture. They were farmers, that type of thing. So these schools train people in the agrarian kind of techniques, how to grow food, how to farm, how to till land, things like that. And that's what happened. And so it was that kind of school to train folks who came from those sort of things. What is it? Yeah, I remember Michael Clark Duncan was alumnus of that school, so it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, let's see here. Now, Alcorn obviously has changed dramatically in time since it was. I like that one. That's a nice photo. Actually, I'm gonna go here with this. I think I have this one, but I'm gonna do it one more time here. I'm gonna say Chapel 8. And the reason why I'm doing it, I want to save things in different angles. Different angles is what I'm looking for. I got the stairwell, I got the chapel, and just for the sake of clarity, I think what I'll do is looking at this here, this points where it's not even a driveway in front of it. So this is good. This is good. This is good. Oh, what's that? What is that? Oh, it's Jackson State. This is where I went to school. Jackson State University. Okay, so we might have to do a little searching to try that. I might have to talk with Dad, just get a little bit more clarity. But for the sake uh, of of continuity, what I will use is a chapel is clearly the most like landmark uh, uh, thing set up that people okay, that is the chapel. All right. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. So let's go back. You know, you forget sometimes when your parents are older, you forget that, you know, these people have been around. So a lot of the privileges and rights that we have today were put in place by sacrifices that those folks made for us many, many decades ago. So that's one of the reasons why I thought it was so important to to get this type of stuff. Save that image there, just the point. Yeah. All right. Now I'm gonna get one more image if I can. I think I want to save this. Save that. Yep. And then I'm gonna go Alcorn College 1950s era uh, college. No, I'm gonna say sign. There we go. And the reason why I want to do that is I want to be able to. Oh, what's that? Nope. I was thinking maybe that was something from Alcorn, but Alcorn College 1950s entrance. I'm sure it probably doesn't matter for right now. This is what we're gonna go with. Okay. Because right now they call it Alcorn State University, but back then it was Alcorn College. So we'll just go Alcorn College. Of course, without using it, it'll come up like this, but this is okay. All part of the SWAC. For folks who don't know what the SWAC is, that is the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Part of it. All right, so I'm going to send him a note here. Alcorn A&M, man. All right, got it. See, this is what I'm saying. These people come in, they start being critical. What is that? A and nope. And no. Where's the and sign on here? Oh my god, my eyes are terrible. Oh, gotta hold that up there. So what happens when you sit on your reading glasses? Yes, I think I found it. And nope, that's the percentage sign. And M. All right, got it. Alcorn A&M sign. Hmm. Let us see. Let us see. Yeah, it's all still very much old. These are newish signs. So I have to do a search. I'm sure I can get it. I just have to have someone make a call just to get some stuff situated. All right, so that's the signs to interest, and this might actually work. Believe it or not. Huh? That might actually be the old school image here. Let me go back here. Do this. This might work. Might work. Work. Right click, and we're going to save image as. We're going to call that Alcorn sign. Okay, there we go. So I think maybe we can rock with that. Oh, wow, look at that one. That might work. That's interesting. I'm liking that. I am liking that. We might have to take a look at that. We might have to take it. Based out of Lorman, Mississippi. So it's pretty interesting. Okay, let's go here again. Go. Whoops, didn't mean to open up Instagram. This is my brother's thing.
Just move your ass.
All right.
Cheat code number 2.
Okay, and this is the one he did first.
Japanese. Cheat code 1.
Next up, basic jump. Next up, jumping jacks. Next up, rest. Rest. Then, basic jump. Next up, rest.
And you're welcome.
All right, that is not me. That is actually my twin brother, and I suppose for the purpose, this is my twin brother and his son, and his daughter, and his wife there. And I'll take a moment here to show. There she is. Let's see, where is her? Here it is. She's done 2 of these or 3 of these. Shoot, she get more pumped than I am.
Astrologer, counselor, friend. Just want to say hey to you all during this new moon in Virgo and Sun in Virgo. And just say take it easy, friends. Remember to have compassion on that perfectionistic little judgy, critical voice that you might hear ever so often about yourself and your own life. You have to remind yourself you're okay. Best that you can. Be good to yourself. Speak kindly to yourself. And remind yourself all okay. All right, friends. I'll let you soon.
All right, there we go. So yeah, very proud of these folks for what they're doing there. Okay, now what was I looking for before this? Go to VizCom. Whoops. Whoa. I'm not sure if I want to show that. Let's go here. Back. Let's see here. May not add that up. All right. Let's see. Go here. All right. Good. So back to Clip Studio Paint. All right. So I'm liking that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go to Bridge. There we go. So I like that. That looks kind of interesting. So I'm going to take this image. I'll take this image here. Yes. And I kind of like that image there because it doesn't have it's like an old-fashioned kind of grass type thing. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So watch what I'm going to do here, guys. So I'm going to take these. I'm going to open these up in Clip Studio Paint. There we go. Great. All right. I need to be able, let's see, this is okay, but I like it because it gives some sort of indication of what the land looks like. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here on this one. Now what we're working on is the bottom image here. All right. So let me take this here. There we go. Reduce that down. There we go. Because we don't need it to be that big. Alrighty. There we go. So let me move this all the way over here. There we go. So now I can take this. Yes. Very interesting. Let's say the land here will do. We'll do this. Take a pen here. Actually, take this brush here. Now I can just go through this and use a lot of this as a reference. Right? Tree here. Yep. Another tree there. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm just trying to get the feel for what's going on here. Right? Then we have land here. It goes up a little bit. And I'm kind of liking the corner tree here. That's kind of cool. Yep. And so this is how, again, I'm doing my breakdowns, and what I'm doing now is transposing this into an image. As a matter of fact, I love that shadow there. That's coming here. So a little ding is my phone, because actually when I'm talking to you guys on my other angle here, this one here, I'm actually, this is my cell phone. And the reason why I'm glad I wanted to show that to you guys, because a lot of folks are like, hey, what equipment are you using? And folks, I'm using what am I using? I'm using a iPhone 15 Pro Max and my laptop camera. That's it. I'm not doing anything special with this stuff. Nothing special. It's just all the regular old dangity dang. Dangity dangity dang. Alright. So go here. Put a few people here. Yep, I'm liking that. This is all based in Lorman, Mississippi, back in the day. There we go. Bring it up there a little bit. Alrighty. I kind of like this here. I think what I'm going to do is bush here. I'm now going to take and make sure I grab that one thing I don't think I've grabbed here. There. Nope. Nope. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. It's what happens when your eyes are bad, buddy. Yes. Here. We'll go here as well. Nope. Didn't do it. I hate it when I mess that up. We're going to go here. 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 And here. Alright, great. So we got it. So, I'm going to do this. We know with our land, what our land is kind of looking like. And I'll take this right there. Yeah, that'll be good. And I will yep. Alright, these are the trees on the property. There we go. Yep. And I'm sure obviously there were other buildings there. And the guy, not that old. Alright, now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this sign here, just like this. Yep. Let's undo that for a second here. Now, you might say, okay, while all this drawing, why don't we You know, you said you're gonna do some AI stuff, and I will do AI stuff. But watch what I'm gonna do first. First, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna create a new layer here, just like this. What I'm doing is copying the sign here, right? Boom. Or I can make it easy, and this is where we get into the Wally Woodisms and you know, Wally Woods of the world, baby. Right there. Okay, everything is grouped together now. Great. So now I'm going to watch what I do here. Here, here, here. This is a cheat, but I'm okay with having a cheat. Totally fine with using a cheat. I'll show you what I mean. Just a second. Right there. That's the one I want. I'm going to drag this guy over and open him up in Clip Studio Paint. Watch what I'm going to do. Whoa. I don't know if my audio went crazy there for a second, but it's been a little weird. I've been getting some blackouts on this thing lately. But watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this very quickly, kind of. Well, actually, what I'll do is this. I'll go around this. Boom. Bam. There we go. Here, and this thing here has been here, I'm sure, for years. Command C. Command V. Okay. There we go. Aha. Well done. Is this a cheat? 1000%. This is the cheat. Command T. Whoops. Command T. Just rotate that a little bit. Now what I'm going to do, because I can, I don't have to do it, but I'll just do it anyway. It's fun erasing stuff sometimes. There we go. Boom. Erase here. There we go. Right there. Erase here a little bit. Get rid of that stuff in there. That's good. And I can just a little bit of fogginess on the side, that little soft touch. Alright, let's go here. Great. Here. Yep. See what I'm doing? It's like, hey, is he still in that photo? Yes. Yes, I am. Or in the fine arts world, apparently I am appropriating this photo. Alright, go here. So I've been having conversations with my sibling about niche, whatever it is. But we've been having a conversation about what is, I'm not doing the fitness thing, even though there's an aspect to it, to what I'm doing, because, I was almost dead 4 months ago. But what I am doing is showing how I do my work. And there are times where I wonder, wow, is there an interest for this type of thing? And I know, of course, there's an interest for anything. Bob Ross did a program where he wore a afro wig for decades, apparently, and did hundreds of episodes of him just painting landscapes. So that's something that, there's an interest for this type of stuff. That I do know. But, of course, it takes time to build this type of stuff. So I'm in this for the long run. I'm in it for the long run. I'm in it to do what I have to do and to be at peace with that. Okay, so we're going to take this here. All right, we're going to take the sign here. Sign's going to be right there, I think. Yes. Okay, good. No, it sounds to be right there. I think. Yes. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna hit Command U. I'm now going to turn my saturation down so to where that is now a black and white image. I'm now going to go to Edit, and I'm going to see what happens if I start to do a little thing like brightness and contrast. We're going to up the contrast significantly. See? We'll take the brightness down, sort of. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. Take that contrast up even more. Okay, there we go. All right. You might say, well, whoa, what did I just do there? What I just did was I gave myself a black and white image, a black and white drawing, if you will, that I can now integrate into my illustration here. Right? Because we do want some level of accuracy to it, so why not take from a photo something that was actually part of the element itself. There we go. Now we can go in here, put our signage in. I'm going to do this. I'm holding down the eraser here. So it's a series of steps. Here. 4. There. Another one. There. Yes. Okay. Good enough. Not perfect, but good enough. Alright. And I'm going to go here to eraser one more time. And go right here to right there. Alrighty. So we're good there. Alright, now I'm going to go back to my brush, and I just want to do this. It's going to be a little weird, but work with me. Right, so I'm following this drawing here a little bit. And I'm going to just do this type of thing here. There we go. Take that. Yep, marking that. And just go here behind it a little bit. So you see what I'm doing here? Actually using part of this actual image here to give myself some room to rock. There we go. Bring that up there. Right. I'll actually even darken this up quite a bit here. There we go. Now, so we can take this here. Alright. Here. Now, watch what I'm going to do. I now need to put the building. Right, I'm going to turn this off now, so we don't need that anymore, right? I like the way I have this here. That looks pretty cool. And that'll be mostly silhouetted, right? Or at least a kind of a interesting sort of setup there. But what I will do now is I will take, and I could make that smaller, this sign here, but we'll see how it plays out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, which is this thing here. No, we don't want that one. We want this one. So now I'm going to take this. I'm going to grab right there. Command C. Command V. And we're going to take our building here. Alright, now I'm going to actually put it right here. I think I like that. Like that a bit. But we're going to 1, 2. What we're doing now is getting rid of all the crud, the sky and stuff. We don't need that stuff. We don't need that stinking stuff, man. There we go. See? Boop. Quick fast, baby. Quick fast. So now, I'm going to erase a little bit around here. Well, Command D. Nope, Command D. There it is. Yeah, I like that. Now, so I like the way I have this looking here, but we want to make sure compositionally everything is okay. So I might shift some stuff around. I may or may not, but we will see what happens here in just a moment. Let me check here online. Check for that. It's 10:32. I'm not going to go for much longer. Hello, Odd Card Knox. That's my twin brother. And the real Evil X Jug is one of my former students. Ed, love you, man. Thank you for this. I would not be doing this YouTube stuff like a madman if you hadn't told me to. So we go here. Let's see here. Okay. I think we're good here. I think I maybe need to go to the Tim Fielder page just to see if there's any. Oh, 6 views tonight. Oh, that's good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, folks on YouTube. Appreciate it. And I know it's going to be a slow grind for me. I know I'm not going to have explosive. Well, actually, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to have. I mean, who am I to say? I just know that I am enjoying the process of doing the work and doing the work and doing it in such a way where I feel like I'm making progress. On one end, just solely as a kind of practice with accountability. This is an accountability loop in the sense that what it does is it allows me to do my work and to know that I'm getting the work done. That's why I'm thinking about adding a morning session. I'm sure some of my colleagues would like it if I did a morning session as well, get more work done. But like I say, this is stuff to keep me happy, keep me working. All right. Let's turn that off and on there. Yep, there we go. We'll erase that at the top. All right. Now, as much as I love this sign here, I think that sign is pretty disturbing. Something about it I don't like. Not that because it's. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. All right, guys. Here's where we're really about to get into the weird stuff here. Okay, we know that. That's the house. Oh, all right. Here's what we're gonna do. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see if this is gonna work. Is the key. We're gonna see. First of all, what would happen if the building was there just by itself? Ah, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Let's take. Yep, there we go. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to move this down. Right, so we get a little bit more sky in there. Okay, good. So we got that, right? Now, get the lead on that bottom part there, because I want to run this through VizCom in a moment. Well, a minute or two, 2 minutes or so. I do feel compelled to do that. Let's erase here. Get those lines out of his shoes, his feet, man, his feet. There we go. All right, good. Now, what we got to do here is this. We're going to take this house. Where's the house? We'll take this house here. We're going to move this house here, right at the top. Yes. Yes. Okay, great. Now we're going to erase on the sides here. We don't need all that blood there. Right? See what's happening? See what I'm doing, baby? Alrighty. All right. And I want this building here somewhat in silhouette. I don't think it needs to be so clearly defined. Hold on one thing here. Yeah, there we go. So we need to go here. I'm just going to erase some of these lines here because I didn't even get rid of the line work there. There we go. Don't want that crud in there. Don't want that crud in the air, but all right. I'm kind of liking that. So here's what we're going to do. Go back to our building here. I'm going to go here and I'm going to, okay, I don't need to rasterize that layer or anything like that. Okay, cool. I can rock with it. Use it how it is. All right, but I'm going to go to edit and now I'm going to go to tonal correction. Okay. And I'm going to level correction. Yes, watch this. Watch this, guys. See what's happening? Ah, there we go. See how we turned that into a black and white drawing? There we go. Now, I'm going to take this brush here and do just like that. I'm going to integrate that to the background. See? There we go. Make these trees here a little bit bigger. All right, make that tree there definitely bigger because we want that to be our foreground image, foreground object. May be able to use the sign, it may not. We will see how that goes. Here, I think I will take that there, and there's another tree. Put the shadow right there for that tree. Good. Erase here. And I'm going to have to merge some of these things here after a bit. Yep. There we go. Put another one on the side there. There you go. Now we're going to just take a little bit, just very light kind of landscape there on the back. Because Lorman is, let's say it's in the woods, but it's not in a straight up cosmopolitan. It's not like Jackson State where it's in the city. So cities compared to like New York are tiny. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. So I'm kind of liking that as Alcorn, but we need a sign. This is where we go back to this guy. Go up here. There we go. Hit Command T. Oh, what in the world is going on here? Oh, it's because I got all this other stuff in here. All right. This is really, really where I'm about to do the serious cheat. See, that's cool, but it's kind of detracts from the building, the chapel. So how about if I hit Command T, right click, go to flip horizontal. Ah, yes. Right there, maybe? Yes. Is it a big sign? Do we need that? I don't know. Yeah, it's too much. We'll do is this. Yeah, that's good. Sort of good. Sort of not good. Right there. A little bit lower. Yes. Okay. All right, erase here. All right. So I'm kind of liking this. I'm kind of feeling like we're looking at something that's a little bit older. Right? Good. Now, you can take a brush. With this brush here, I will add a little bit of kind of darker tones here. See? And that can just be right there. Now, I believe I need to get rid of the kind of red grid stuff there because that's a little bit distracting to the image. Okay, but whatever the case may be, I think we've got something here that can work. We've got something here that can work. Okay, and I'll put the all-point signage on there later. Okay, that's good. Do we want clouds? Right now, I'm going to leave the clouds out. And now we're going to do the other thing that I want to show you guys. Go here. All right. Go back here. Just take a look at our streaming stuff. See what's happening. I think the signal is pretty good. Now, here's where it gets interesting. How do we then utilize AI to help our process? So as you guys can see here, I've done all the regular stuff. I've done drawing. I've done all those different things. And, look, I know the perspective is off on this thing, but, I don't care. Well, I do care, but not enough. But actually, it is kind of disturbing. So let me see what I can do. Doggone it, man. People, not supposed to be like this. All right, let's try this. Let's go back here. All right, I know what we're going to do. We're going to select this part. There we go. All right, I'm going to take this. I'm going to just select everything up here. Right? Command C, Command V. So we have now recorded our desktop. So there we go. So we're now back to a blank floor. However, I can now take this, rotate it into position. Alright, that's actually kind of cool there. Let's rotate that in position. You'll see what I'm going to do in just a moment here. Alright, now we got to get this to where this stuff is showing like so. Okay, I'm liking that. Alright, good. Now, it's weird, I know. But now, we can go back here. Let's rotate that. There we go. Yep. Let's rotate that. That's still bad, but better than it was. Now we're going to take this here. Move that up there. There we go. See how that's fitting a little bit better now? Yeah, I can live with that. That I can live with. Alright. I can live with that. Erase here. The lines of his body. The couch. There we go. Yep. Even the kind of breaks that are happening in the line elements here, I can kind of live with too. There we go. Alrighty. Alright, kind of liking that. That look, that has some flavor to it. Just a little bit of flavor. Alright, now. So next thing we want to do, go here, here. Okay, that's good. Here. Now, I'm going to take out, see that red, the red grids here and stuff? That's just a marker so we can see where we're putting our material. But what I want to do is get ready to line this page off so I can create my image prompt. This will be my image prompt. Let me save this. So that's good. All right. Now, in theory, if I did drawings here, right? If I did just straight drawings, in theory, I could do 4 pages a day in a relaxed manner. There are different ways to use this tech on your stuff. You know, some people might use it straight, just do everything for them. I don't believe that. what I do is I just use it to augment what I'm doing. I don't want to have to sit here and color this image for the next, however long. I'd much rather have something to automate that process. Flatter's neat work. Flatting, the job of flatting didn't exist before Photoshop came along. So that's a new skill and I should be honest and say that flatters are on their ways out, are on their way out. That job won't exist, in my opinion, in another 5 years. A person will do flatting because they want to do flatting, but the idea of doing it so that it becomes like part of, it just remains a part of the process, that's going to change. There will be some people who will do flatting, of course, because they'll still use Photoshop. But what I'm going to show you in the next several minutes here will disabuse anyone of thinking that even that can. I mean, anything can be replaced ultimately, I guess. But this is something that is quite fascinating and powerful. Okay, so we're here. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to take our border here. Right? See that? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select here. I'm going to select inside of that. So what I've now done is selected inside of this border. And that's fine. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to take a deselect and I'm going to create a border line here. Right about there, I like. So that's pretty good. So what I've done now is created selections on this top section here and then the bottom section. So panel 1 and panel 2. Okay, we're good. So now I'm going to go here to the top. By the way, I'll be using this a bit. So we're going to go here and we are now going to create a new layer right here and call that, oops, almost dropped my stylus, page 1 border. Alright, watch what I'm going to do here. So we're going to go back. I want this to be black. And we're going to go to edit, outline selection. Right now we have it set at 20. We want it to draw on the outside. Watch what happens. Oh, that's a little bit too thick for me. That's a little bit too thick for the man. I'm now going to go here and go to outline selection again, but now we're going to move it to 15. And we're going to draw on the border. All right, there we go. Now watch what happens when I turn the panels off here. See what's happening? So we now have these panels lined off. However, I'm going to reselect this. All right, this is my panel here. That's good. Now what I'm going to do is select invert. Well, this is going to be a little weird, but work with me on this. Work with me on this. Select invert selection. Is that what we want? Yes. So now I'm going to make sure that this is turned to white. And now I'm going to do a fill. See what's happening? All that stuff is masked off now. So I'm good with that. But what it did was it masked off everything. But that's okay, because we can change and alter that now by doing this. Let's turn our thingy back on here. Right? We'll turn that off. Now, what I'm going to do, see that line there? You guys see that line? That red line? We're going to go right there on that middle line. Because where I've set this up, this is what I call a quad. And I don't know if anybody uses, but this is just one of the things that I do to expedite my process. Because I'm basically effectively doing 4 pages at the same time. It's just, I find it be a bit of a time saver, and also it allows me to keep track of where I am in the story. All right, so we got that. zoom in here a little bit. I think we're going to take here. Yep. Nope. Right here. There we go. All right. So we got that. And I think the top part we'll leave. We'll leave that. Now watch this. I'm going to go back here to where the border, the white border is there. I'm going to hit delete. So you can see what's happened. So that border is there now. And so we're good. That's now somewhat protected. And we can live with what we have. All right. Now, let me turn this off here. And it's 10:52. I'm going to get ready to shut it down. But let me just show you this last thing of how insane this technology is. I don't know if Jordan Taylor is looking tonight, but I want to thank him for, he's CEO of VizCom. You know, God probably thinks I'm crazy. But I use the software just in case you're listening or anyone who uses VizCom. For better or for worse, I use the software. It has altered my capacity to output work. It has changed the way I work. But as you can see here, if you've seen any of this stuff here, I still have to draw. I still have to do cartooning. Still comics, right? Now, so whatever you guys are doing, just make sure I would love to be involved in what they're doing. Okay, go here. Now I'm going to select there. Right? See, guys, what I'm doing? Doing a regular comic page. Right there. All right, so we got this. And I'm going to drag. Oh, there it is. We'll have to pick it up a little bit later, but that's okay. It's just a screenshot now, right? Now, watch how I do this. So flatting is something where you take line artwork like this and you give it to a person who literally goes through and they make selections of stuff and they apply color to it. And it's pretty powerful. It is very, very powerful. In this particular case here, I can go here to VizCom. Okay. Let's do a refresh on that. All right, let's go back here. I'm sorry, doing some stuff here. Might have to open up another VizCom because that is getting bogged down. VizCom. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's log in here. All right, now we're going to go back to our regular workspace. Okay, now create a new file. Okay, now different ways to use AI. You can use AI as a reference, where you basically take a drawing, you run it through the software, and you use the output of that as a reference, right? Almost like you would take a photo, right? And you use it as reference. In certain cases, you can also use it as a direct color flatting tool, but it's color flatting with rendering. Let me repeat that again. A color flatter is someone that you hire, person, you draw your drawings, you hand it off to someone, and that person takes your line artwork and they, by hand, right, literally select off the elements in your drawing and they apply base color, right? They're not necessarily color. They can color according to a color model or a specific set of colors, but generally, whatever happens, the person who's going to then color is going to go back and select that and turn everything into what they want. But that's what a flatter does. A flatter is like an intermediate stage between line art and actual paint or a final color, right? What VizCom does is it takes your image. So we're going to go here, right? We'll go to desktop. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to see. But here it is. This is my image. Oh, what is going on there? What happened there? Oh, it's because I didn't tell it what I wanted to do. We're going to start in Studio. And there are different features like the reference tools and all that. I'm going to get into that soon enough. But give me a little time. We're not trying to have everything done today. All right. So there's the image. That's the comic page. Pretty cool. Now, I need to tell the software. Now, this is my prompt. This is my first prompt. My first prompt is my drawing. Watch this. We're now going to hit the word describe. Now, I could do it myself manually. In this case, hey, let's go here. That circle is spinning, right? Oh, sorry, I'm scratching my jaw there because my hair is high angle, right? Bearded African American man. You have to tell it. You have to tell it because if you do, they're gonna make everybody white. Even though my dad's a light complexion man, but you know, bearded African American man in cap and hoodie. I'm gonna say cap and jacket, seated on leather sofa beside wooden folding table with plastic bottle sitting in a sunny room. All right. Now, notice here that when I do that, the next thing here, you probably can't see that well. It actually is a colon, right? But watch when I say high angle comic book page. Comic book page. See? It's actually, I'm telling you what it is, right? By using my image prompt. All right, next up. Distant wide view, wooden pavilion. That's the pavilion there. And stone column temple. Wooden pavilion sets on trees, tree lined land, grassland, college campus, and stone column temple with stone column temple in distance. Right? We're going to say sunny, midday, cinematic. Well, let's say photoreal, cinematic. All right, you ready? Let's see what happens. We're by default, well, it's not by default. I have 4 generations available to me. You ready? Here we go. Wow. Look at that. Ha. Now, what it has here, it actually has the man sitting outside. But I gotta say, I love the thing at the bottom here, right? But let's go here. Oh, look at that. I love that. Look at that. That is amazing. I think you're gonna add this one. We're gonna add that one. And what's happening is I added to the files that happen to the left here. That one I can do without that one. And so you're seeing what it's doing is it's putting college students on the grass. Don't worry, I'm gonna turn them into people. So I'm gonna say high angle comic book vision sits uh, seated on a leather sofa. High angle comic book page. Bearded African man seated in a room. On a leather sofa. Let me see how that changes things. All right. I'm going to take out sunny room and make it dark room. All right. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Yeah, right now it's still looking like it has him sitting on a patio. Yep, that's not working. But it's interesting. That's interesting. It did turn everything into a wood floor. It did do that. That's interesting. That's very interesting as well. I kind of like that. That is very interesting. But let me try it again. Let's gonna say Hango, gray bearded African American man in cap and jacket seating in a dark room. All right, now let's see what happens. Like the thing at the bottom, I don't care about that so much because I got what I wanted. In a dark room. Okay, let's generate again. So what I would have to pay a flatter to do, right? Hello, Rebel Jones. How you doing? Good to I don't know how creative it is, but it saves me time. But yeah, this is one of the things that I do here. Oh, see, when I remove that, it removed the stuff with the couch. Okay, let's see what happens here. Yep, that's interesting. That's very interesting, and I'll explain to you why I think that's interesting. That is interesting because of the shadows here, the light. I love a backlight. I'm a sucker for a backlight, man. Let me tell you. All right, so we're gonna do one more thing here. We're gonna go jacket seated in a dark room. Yeah, it's what it's doing. It's actually trying to make it appear that he's outside. But kind of like what I got there. I kind of like that. That's interesting. I didn't think that would. Yeah, that one's no, not so much. This one is interesting. That one is very interesting. No, eh, this one I like. Okay, guess what? We're gonna say that this right here is done. So now I'm gonna turn this into Evers Offer P1AI. Right? And I'm going to save this name here, and I'm going to go to File, Export. Now, here's the thing, folks, the VizCom folks, I don't know if they're looking at this. It would be nice that when we save our images, we want to be able to specify where it saves, right? Instead of it going to the download section, which it did, which is fine. But it'd be nice if we could specify where this stuff can be saved. It saves time to be able to do that. Also, another thing here, watch this. I've never used this feature before, but we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna go to File, Export Video, which video encoder is not configured. What do you mean by that? What do you mean it's not? Let's see. Video encoder not set. Let's go preferences. I don't know. Let's see here. Account settings. Nah, I'm gonna need them to be able to fix that part. Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna now minutes. Hello, Eric Wilson Art. This is Tim Fielder Sinning here using VizCom AI to do his work. For those folks who don't know, Eric Wilkerson is without a doubt one of the greatest concept design and painters. Done work with Wizards of the Coast and all that, and so proud of him. I remember when I remember when this guy was working at Walmart years ago, but he never gave up. He just kept working. Now he has a beautiful wife and 2 kids. I think his daughter's driving him crazy. He's been such an inspiration to me. Okay, here we go. So now we've done this part. We now need to go back to Clip Studio Paint. So again, there's my drawing. All good. No worries. Again, in this particular process, I'm not using AI as a reference. Like sometimes I'll put stuff and it'll give me ideas as a reference, like you would take a photograph or any kind of thing. And you use it as a reference to add the paint in manually yourself. But in this particular case, what I'm going to be doing is actually using the actual underpainting that comes through VizCom, because VizCom walls off your drawings. I'm not using another artist's name. Not doing that because I don't want my stuff to look like another artist. I want it to look like my work. But VizCom is specifically designed for concept designers and people who work in manufacturing. So there's a look they're going for that's based on marker renderings and 3D renderings and photographic renderings. So when those things are put together, it gives you a kind of element that looks like it has a bit of ambient occlusion in it, realistic lighting. In fact, there are video game companies right now using this very same software to do their work. So, like I say, we can do what we want, but this technology is not going anywhere. I don't use Midjourney. I don't use any of that stuff. I do use Runway, but I'm still trying to get to that. I mean, you all saw the disastrous stuff I was doing last week with VizCom. But anyway, I digress. So we're going to now go to download. Loads. So much stuff. That's why I'm saying, VizCom guys, let me be able to save this stuff where I spent it. I don't want it to necessarily go to the download folder. Anyway, let's go here. We're going to go to Evers Offer. Oops. There it is. Right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play it smart. I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to go back to GI Bro 1 High. Or is that Jai Bro 1? I don't know. Anyway, so we're going to go here. Next, we're going to drag that over to here. Evers Offer. Okay, so we got that. Let's see what happens now. Here's the moment of truth. So I'm now going to drag this into Clip Studio Paint. Right? So you can see here it has all the rendering there. Everything's there. Again, flatters. Those jobs are gone. They're not coming back. They're not coming back. I'm so sorry. But I like this. So watch what happens now. I'm now going to select all three of these here. I'm now going to do a Command C for copy. And I'm going to go here to Command V. Oops, wrong one. That didn't work. Let's try it again. I'm going to do Command and select all of them. Command C. Make sure we got it. And go here to Command V. There we go. All right. Now, let's take, where are those guys? Where are they? Oh, they just didn't. Oh, no, it did all of them. All right, cool. Cool. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to turn the opacity off on those, turn those channels off. I'm going to reduce this down a little bit here. Now, we're going to select all three. We're now going to move these guys into place. Now, why is this technology useful? This technology is useful because it allows you to do work on your drawings, on your designs. You guys have seen me go from this, right? I went from written breakdowns and details and all that type of stuff. I had to write all that stuff down. And then I went from this 1 to 2, right? I did sketches. I did breakdowns. That's what I'm doing, right? And then we take that and we move that over to this. And then we get it to being an actual image. So we're going to go here. worries. Now, great thing is about this, we can actually use the color here to see where things kind of get bridged off here a little bit. So we put there. We're not look. It doesn't have to be exact. Just needs to be close enough. A little bit more. A little bit more. Up, back down. Okay, there we go. All right, hit that space bar. Okay, now we're gonna bring this down. Whoops. Whoops. Take it back up a little bit. There we go. Not perfect, but good enough. Okay, good enough. Right there. I think I can live with that. All right, now I'm gonna go back here. Once that clears, sure it's taking its time now. We can get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. We don't need this anymore. No, I don't want to save it because I can always go back to it. Not save. We can go get rid of that. I'm trying to clear the storage up here a little bit. I think here. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to go here and I'm going to move the resolution on this back up. All right. Now I like the lighting in this. I like the lighting in this, but here's what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take, there we go, and I'm going to select outside this, right there, okay? So we are now, whoops, Command D, and select here. Hot doggone it, did it again. Command D, go select, okay, good. We need to go here. Yes, man. Okay, there we go. So now what we've done is selected outside of this thing. And so now when I go here, I can get rid of that. So that's getting rid of that stuff there. Getting rid of all that stuff. We don't need that anymore. Get rid of that. Whoops. This. There we go. We can even go here and get rid of that too. Okay, good. Now I want to go back to the border here. All right, not bad. Now where's the line here? I think we're good here. I want to move that border up to the top there. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. So we have a border. We have something that works pretty good. Now, I like the lighting on top. I think that's pretty high. But I don't like the lighting on the bottom. I think the lighting on the bottom does not work for me. I'm going to hit Command D, and I'm going to get rid of that for this particular layer. All right. Now, I like the lighting on this because I think the landscape in the back is pretty darn cool. That's pretty cool. So like I said, I'm keeping the one on top here. This one here, I like that on top, but I don't particularly care. Like, I definitely don't want that. I don't like that. Even though there's a part of it that's kind of cool, but I definitely don't want that. However, there's some elements in this that do work. So for right now, I'll keep it. But let's go here. I'll keep that. I'll keep the bottom part. This is the one I like. I like that one. That one's dope. The exterior shot here, I don't, with the man sitting there. Yeah, I don't like that one. So he's out of here. Okay. So the bottom one I love. I love it because it looks a certain specific way. It has a bit of charm to it, and I think it's something we can utilize. Command D. Okay. we've had a fair amount of people come through today for a second. I really appreciate you guys doing that. All right, so we got this one. Bottom there is set. Top there, it's like it's something about the couch I like. So let's take this here. I'm gonna go. It's 11:17. Get a little bit late at night here. I'm sorry, guys, but I've gone on so long. We're gonna go here. Now I'm gonna start eliminating the parts I don't want. I don't want that. Right? Now, of course, many operators who use this software, they do their image editing in VizCom, and I'll do that one day. I'll show how I iterate concepts and ideas. Hey, Scott Robinson, who's one of the greatest concept designers out there, uses VizCom. I'm like him in the sense that I'm not afraid of this tech. I know what it can do. I also know what's going to happen over the next 5 years. You know, there's some folks who go, no, it's not the same as Photoshop. No, it's definitely bigger than that, but it's more like the car. You know, I don't want to ride horses to work. I want a car to go to work. And so that's what this is going to be. This is going to be that kind of situation scenario where people are, their lives are going to be altered through the use of this tech. That's what's going to happen. And it might not be pretty in all cases, but and this doesn't mean that straight analog painting or illustration is going to go away. I don't believe that at all. It's like when photography came, and so many people were just anti-photography because they felt like it was cheating, which I understand. But still got photographers out there doing their thing. 100 and however many years later. And that's what's going to happen with this. So there's a place for all this stuff. All right, I like that bottom part. Now, I don't like the guy, though. Don't like the guy. I don't care for him. He's not rocking my world. He is not rocking my world. Worlith. He's not rocking my world. Here, so one more time. Okay, I think we're good. Command D. Make sure this stuff is erased. Good. All right. Now, so we got that. The top part here is what I like. I like the part here containing the man here. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take this. Yep. And the first thing I'm going to do is do a reselect. I'll show you what I'm going to do here. Reselect. The room here needs to be a little bit different for sure. Kind of liking that. And I think even though it's grass there, I'm still going to erase it. I don't like that, but I'll be able to recreate the room that I want for that. That's not good. There we go. There we go. Okay, good. Fantastic. D, go here, that. There we go. All right, I like that. So this is good. Now, I think this is as far as we're going to take this tonight because I got to come back and show how I'm going to paint over this. Again, I'm using Photoshop, mostly Clip Studio Paint, a little Photoshop, and VizCom to show how I utilize all these different technologies. I'm still working on my 3D setup here. I use 3ds Max. If I was just starting out, I'd probably be just using Blender. I mean, the 3D market's changed so much now. Remember, it used to be like, one of my friends told me, he was like, what are you using? Are you using Maya? I'm like, no, I'm using 3ds Max. That's a toy. And now all of it is basically obsolete. Well, maybe not completely obsolete, but the stuff that's out there now makes this stuff somewhat not irrelevant. It's just it doesn't hold the weight it used to. It just does not. It's because tech now. It's just it's on a completely different level. You know, right now. It's like very shortly you'll be able to do modeling and not have to um, build anything in 3D. That's going to happen. All right, now here we go. So I think we're good there. Now, the next step will be these items here will be turned into grayscale images. I don't want to necessarily deal with the color unless I like the color a lot. But like I said, it gives me something to work with. All right, with that, I want to thank you guys for tonight showing up. Instagram, you guys are awesome. I don't know if it's that people are coming through, they're making a mistake and hitting the button and joining in for a second, but I really appreciate you guys joining in for the night. I've had people up way past their bedtime. I really, really feel compelled to add a daytime session on this. I believe that's something I need to do because I have so many projects I'm working on. In fact, I might have to start saying no to stuff. But that is where I am, and I'm so blessed to be able to do it because not everybody gets to do what I'm doing. So there we go. But yeah, with that, please, please, please buy my stuff. Right? Buy